Hello, everyone. This is Jimmy Woods. Some of you know me from Mission Mahi. I own the Mission Mahi truck. I'm in recovery from drugs and alcohol, along with all the people that work with me on the truck. Pastor Mark asked me to put this together to pick my favorite scripture. He mentioned Luke. Mine is from James, just because it was so important to me. I'm going to set this up for you. In 2013, I was in a really bad place and I crawled into Memorial Park Church and I slept there. And that was January 6th of 2013. And that was the beginning of a new life for me. I begged God for help in that church that night. A lot of people know that what happened next saved my life. I was run down by a car in front of the church shortly thereafter. I slept at the church, got up, and then when I walked out and crossed the street, I got hit by a car and I was intoxicated. And what happened that day and that moment saved my life. My prayers were answered by an old lady in a 2007 Chevy Cobalt. And she took me out of the bar business that day. And she set me up for the beginning of a new life in recovery. The police were looking for me. And they found me in the hospital. I woke up 3 days later, tied down at Allegheny General Hospital. The reason why I'm telling you that, I wanted to set the stage for what I'm about to read. I spent the next month in the hospital, numerous surgeries. I had severe brain trauma. I ended up spending a couple weeks in a brain trauma hospital as well. When I got out of the brain trauma hospital, it was the end of January in 2013. I wasn't allowed to live alone, and I had to go live with my parents. And my mom was a big reader, and I remember coming home from a doctor's appointment. She loved half-price books. My mom passed this past year from cancer, and it was a very difficult time for me. And I made it through, thank God. My faith life and the people that I'm connected with now in recovery and at my church got me through that toughest time of my life, I think, and so far. But I was very close to my mom. She took me to half-price books in my wheelchair, and I was in a wheelchair for months after this. And I wrote at the beginning of this, I bought this Bible in half-price books, and it says, purchased 2/20/13, which wasn't that long after I was hit by the car. It was January 6, 2013. So I wasn't long out of the hospital. I purchased this Bible, and it was the first Bible I had ever opened. It's the Message Bible. I always call it the Bible for idiots. That's something that even I can understand. I love it. But what was really cool to me was that I opened it up, and I opened it right to James, and I didn't know why. My AA sponsor told me later that the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous were mostly written from James. And no coincidence that I opened it up that day right to the beginning of James. And I highlighted because I immediately started to read. And it blew my mind and it got me addicted to this scripture. And it's still highlighted this day, obviously. But I loved having to open this back up and see this. Because at the beginning, the first thing I read and saw was consider. It's James 2:4. It says, "Consider it a sheer gift, friends, when tests and challenges come at you from all sides." And boy, I was facing jail time. My business had sold while I was in the hospital. I gave away my business. I owned a bar and restaurant in Lawrenceville. I lost that due to my drug addiction and the illegal things I was doing down there. My house had just sold. I owned a beautiful house. That was gone. Both of my cars were gone. I totaled them both in that same year. And I was facing jail time for multiple DUIs. My court hearing was set for July. So consider it a sheer gift, friends, when tests and challenges come at you from all sides. That was the first thing I read, and I'm thinking, wow. It is, you know that under pressure, your faith life is forced into the open and shows its true colors. So don't try to get out of anything prematurely, Let it do its work so you become mature and well-developed, not deficient in any way. That meant so much to me because I knew that what had happened to me was happening for a reason. I wasn't all that happy about what was happening, but I knew that it happened for a reason. I also have highlighted 9 through 11. It says, when down and outers get a break, cheer. And when the arrogant rich are brought down to size, cheer. And I felt like that guy. I was the guy that owned a really cool bar in Lawrenceville, and I'd pull up in my convertible BMW, and there was a garage door in the front of the bar, and I'd pull up with my beautiful girlfriend in the front seat, and I'd get out. And I remember thinking, and I used to be a big fan of Howard Stern back then, and now I can't even listen to him for a minute. But he used to call himself the hero of the idiot. And that's how I felt. I felt so empty inside, but I think everybody looking at me, I looked like I had it all. And I was so incredibly empty. So when it said, when down and outers get a break, cheer, and when the arrogant rich are brought down to size, cheer. Prosperity is short-lived as a wild flower, so don't ever count on it. You know that as soon as the sun rises, pouring down its scorching heat, the flower withers, its petals wilt, and before you know it, the beautiful face is a barren stem. Well, that's the picture of the prosperous life, and it sure was. At the very moment everyone's looking on in admiration, it fades away to nothing. And here I was at the lowest point in my life, in a perfect position to start a relationship with God. So that's why this is so important to me. I hope I did a good job explaining. I was trying to fit it in. It's very late, and this is how I seem to operate. Mark asked me to have it in by tomorrow. It is, I don't know what time of night it is. Probably 9 o'clock on Thursday night. And I have to double tomorrow on the food truck, lunch and dinner. Friday during Lent, and I'm selling fish tacos. It's a busy time for us. So thank you all. God bless, and have a wonderful Easter. Bye-bye.